Hi guys, how are we all doing? Welcome back to the channel. If my voice sounds a little bit rough, it's because it is. I'm still absolutely fucking knackered from yesterday. So this is going to be a different kind of video. You would expect in a vlog from Download, and well, you won't get them on. You won't get them on at all. I'm going to break it down and go through everything why in this video, and try and get the points across. And just list my experiences and yeah, go through everything that I personally witnessed from also the people I've spoken to, from subscribers that actually said the same thing at the festival yesterday. So yeah, to give you a bit of backstory, and we'll go through it all naturally. I was invited to Download, as you've already seen. The video that I popped up, I was invited to Download. I actually have kept the wristband on for now, just to say, look, I was actually there. It's the wrong wristband, but anyway. So yeah, I was emailed a couple of weeks ago after inquiring about press availability for Download, and the team that managed that kind of thing reached out and were like, "Hey, we'd love to have you at Download Festival. Can you fill in the following details?" Now you have to go through a certain process to be able to be accredited, which means that you are allowed in, basically. Your access is being granted. You are who you say you are, etc., etc. So I replied to the email, made up, of course, all the details, the channel name, they asked for channel figures, things like that, filled them all in. There was a question on there that said, what pass would you require, which was photo or video. So obviously I said video, preferably. But yeah, obviously it's a YouTube channel. So that got fired off. And I heard nothing back, and the festival got closer and got closer. Now, obviously, with this kind of ticket, it doesn't obviously come with transport. I would never expect that, so I still had to book my own transport to get to and from the festival, which was nearly £70 overall. So I emailed again, no reply. Emailed again, no reply. To which, at this point, the festival was like a week away, and the coaches were starting to sell out. So, I had to be able to get to the festival. So, on the bottom of the email in the signature panel, the guy's details were there. I actually had to reach out over WhatsApp and say, I've received nothing back. I've received no welcome pack, which I was told I would receive when the guy eventually did email, just to say, everything's all good, you'll receive a welcome pack, which never came. Now, I needed that welcome pack because that's what you show on the day to basically be like, look, it's confirmed. So he confirmed over WhatsApp. I then booked the coach the same day. Luckily got it. I then spent out money on things like replacement power banks, replacement batteries for cameras, a new backpack because there was restrictions on size of what you could take into the actual arena. I was willing to follow all the rules, as have to do at festivals. So, booked the coach. Everything was all sorted, everything arrived, all my supplies arrived, packed the bag, and I went off to Download yesterday. Now, I travelled with the Big Green Coach Company, who I can't praise enough. Absolutely fantastic service. The coach arrived early, if anything. We went and picked up a couple of people in Birkenhead, which is just over the water from Liverpool, then on to Chester, then hit the motorway, straight down to Download, and we got off the bus at about 5 to 10. Yesterday morning, which was amazing timing. The festival was just starting to open up, and we were there an hour before arena. So fantastic, absolutely amazing service. Can't fault the Big Green Coach Company at all. Actually met a guy on the coach that watches the channel as well, and we had a good chat all the way down there. Nice guy. And he's actually commented on my community post saying that he got back to Liverpool last night at around 3 a.m, which, again, later on we'll go into, because apparently there's been problems with coaches and transport as well. So yeah, I get to the festival, obviously had to go and pick up my passes, or what I thought would be my passes. Headed down to the box office. The press office was currently shut. I was told it opened at 10, and it didn't. It was opening late. And this is where everything just started to go downhill. So I arrived, went to the box office, was really professional, really polite. Obviously you have to make an impression. Spoke to the woman who was on the general box office and just said, do you know what time the press office opens, as currently all the blinds are closed? Really polite, really nice, and it was just the attitude. Straight away, the attitude from the staff was just completely uncalled for. Now, I've worked expos and big shows in the past, long days, 15-hour days, very little sleep, drinking afterwards, straight back at the next day. There was one thing that you cannot do, and is talk to people like crap whether you're tired or not. Like, they're just trying to enjoy their day, and if you want to push it even further, they are in that job because of the people that go to the festival. If there was no people wanting to go to the festival or buy tickets, they simply wouldn't have a job. They wouldn't be there. But anyway, the press office opened around 10:30. I gave my name in, and then, again, this is where it starts to go downhill. I was told, sorry, we've run out of press passes. We've run out of press bands. So here is a pink wristband that had like a cat on it, and I was given this, which is a Sunday guest pass. So, still getting to the festival, you were still allowed in, still got the guest area and everything like that. And a pink wristband, which got me into the press area, press tent, all the rest of it. Now, I am new to backstage areas, if you like, press areas of festivals. Like, this is the first time the channel obviously has been invited to a festival of this size. So I get to the press tent after being directed wrong 4 times by security, and was basically blown away by the response. Before, actually, I'm just looking at my notes. This video might be a little bit all over the place, like I say. I am still very much knackered. Before I get to the press area, I want to take you through the route to get into the press area, because there are some notes that I 100% want to cover. So, as I was given my bands, my wristband and things like that, I quickly called them and was like, I don't think I've been given what I've been promised here, but I'm going to go and try and find the press tent. I was told by the guy to go there and ask, and if there are any passes left, I'll be assigned them. It'll be no trouble at all. Don't worry, we'll sort it out. So I was like, fine, okay, cool. I heads up the hill, massive hill, goes through the entrance gates where everyone's bags are being searched and stuff like that. No issues at all getting through that one. And then you have to walk through, round past the co-op, round a corner, up another hill, and you eventually come to the arena entrance, past all the campsites and everything like that. Very well laid out, a lot of space, just a lot of people, but a lot of space either way. I get to the arena entrance, and the sight of what I was seeing was just insane. Like, it really was. So, on the download website, you were allowed to take a 500ml sealed, not tampered with bottle of water into the arena, or an empty, refillable 500ml bottle to be obviously refilled in the arena. Both of these were being taken off customers. Both of them. Empty bottles were being asked to be put in the bins, and sealed, untampered with bottles were being told to either drink them there and bin the bottle, or simply bin the bottle. This happened every single person going through the arena gates at this time. I was not asked to do this, and I don't know why. I had a half-open bottle of water. I asked, do you need me to bin this? And they said, no, let's see your wristband, press, you're fine, go through. That's not fair. Not in the heat that was yesterday. I actually took a screenshot on my phone of me walking through the entrance. And at the time of the screenshot being taken, now this was at 13 minutes past 12, the temperature on my phone said it was 28 degrees at Donington. And it felt a lot hotter. There was not a cloud in the sky. Now, if your rules on your website say that you can take an untampered, full 500ml bottle of water, or whatever it may be, into the arena, then someone gave the orders to stop that from happening. Now, this was record for download. It is usually pissing down. It's usually warm, but it's never this hot. That is dangerous. It is so dangerous. Super, super dangerous to people's health. People were like, it says we can take them in. Security were like, no, put them in the bin. There was literally bins mounded with water bottles. Some of them full, unopened. Just chuck them in the bin. No, get a drink when you get into the arena. The next one is just, again, quite frankly dangerous. So 28 degrees at Donington yesterday with a UV index of 6 out of 10. So that's getting towards high. That's like, if you don't wear sun cream, you're going to burn. Sun cream was being taken off people. Now it was only a little bottle. It was about that big. I think it was 200ml, maybe, something like that. 200ml of factor 50. I wasn't taking no chances, and I'm glad. I'm red, but I'm not burnt. Factor 50. That was pulled out and gone. Sun cream, yeah, fine, back in the bag. Away you go. Entered away. People were having sun cream taken off them, which leads me on to the next point of when I walked into the arena. 50 to 100 steps, so just past the entrance area where it's all gravel and stuff. The minute you got onto the grass, there was people here, there was people there, there was people here, all on the floor, suffering massively. Some people had first aid people with them. Some people were pouring water onto their friends. These people were not in a good way. Probably should never have been allowed into the arena, just purely for health and safety reasons. There was just people everywhere, like in pain, and, you know, in need of assistance urgently. And it just wasn't a good look. I was kind of like, what the hell is going on? I mean, a couple of people you might think, dude, come on, don't drink beer. Stop drinking the beer. Get some water in you. There's going to be them people that no matter what, don't listen to the safety advice, that just go off on one, that just don't take any consideration and are going to end up in trouble. But there was a lot. There was more than there should have been people on the floor in need of assistance. Like I say, some people did have assistance with them at the time. There was also plenty of people then going into the guest area, because I think security had allowed them, carrying their friends, like 2 people with their arms around them, just dragging their friend to the nearest water station. It was so bad in terms of the organisation. The water filling stations as well, which I personally used once, were dotted around, very, very few and far between around the festival area. Now, the arena's huge, people will know this. The arena itself is absolutely massive. They were in each corner, at the sides, and you would expect, for what is to be expected 110,000 people, tickets to have been sold, for there to have been a lot more on these water fill stations. Now, these water fill stations could only resemble urinal blocks in the men's toilets. That's what they look like, with the little tray. It leads down to the plug and obviously out into the drain. With these god-awful fill caps that the minute you press the button, the water just shot everywhere, but into your bottle. Now, these had 10, probably, taps either side, and there was 1 to 2 of these water things next to each other per water filling station for what you are estimating to be 110,000 people. Not only that, the water that was dispensed from them was warm, to say the least. It was not cold. It felt like you were drinking water that had been left in direct sunlight, that you'd then picked up your bottle and gone, oh, I need a cold one of them. Prices for drinks, and now I understand it is a festival. They do overinflate the prices, but £4 for a cup of Pepsi this big is not on. It really isn't. The liquid death water, which I survived on, basically was very nice. £2.60 a can. Very big can, 500ml can, chilled. Really refreshing, really good stuff. Looked like an energy drink, to be fair, but it was just canned water. And I basically survived off that, so I didn't dehydrate. But the water stations, now, this isn't just my opinion. I've spoken to people that were at the festivals. There was friends that were there that have said the same thing. The groups are full of the same thing to do with the water filling stations. This isn't just my opinion, but I personally witnessed it myself, and I have other eyewitness accounts to back this up. This isn't a Let's Troll download video. I would like nothing more than to have give you the vlog that you asked for, and we are getting to why you're not getting that. But I'm just going through these notes. I want to make sure I don't miss anything out, and to raise the concerns, because other people have been saying the same thing. So we've covered the arena, with obviously the sun cream being taken off people, the water being taken off people, the sealed bottles being taken off people. Then obviously we've got the water dispenser units, which were far from even usable. Warm water, not enough of them, queues 500 to 1,000 people deep easily. I got lucky the fact that I went into the guest area and that had its own drinking station, water filling station. But of course, you could only access that with these bans. So general festival goers that didn't have guest access were then down another water collection unit. And it was horrible to see. It really was. So after all that is taken into account, and we've mentioned that, I get to the press area and I showed my pink band and it worked. I was allowed to then walk in to what was the press area, to which I was like, this is cool as fuck. It was literally bang behind the main stage. Bloodywood were just playing as I came out. I walked in and it was a strange vibe. There was just people like, who the fuck is he? Kind of weird looks from people. And I was like, am I in the right area? So I was told to speak to a guy that was on a desk to the right as soon as I walked in. And again, politely and professionally, just said, I've been given this wristband and this pink wristband, which obviously was a paper one, I've cut it off now, and told to come and speak to yourself or someone in here. I apologise, I'm not too sure about what I have to do. I've been told that I have passes that they're out of at the box office area and to come and speak to yourselves and you will sort me out. To which this guy was actually pretty helpful. And he said, yeah, what you want to do is go through the doors behind me, go into the little green hut. There's a team in there that can issue passes. Go and explain to them what you've explained to me. They'll sort it out. I was like, perfect, great. And then walks into this hut and was met by, I'm sorry, but quite frankly, one of the rudest people I've ever spoken to. Now, I am not going to rant, I'm not going to shout, I'm just going to explain my points on what I personally witnessed and what was said to me in a nice, calm way, because I think people deserve to know, and a lot of people don't realise what goes on and how this kind of stuff is obtained. So, I had asked for, in the email, which I showed her, a video pass, and when I went into the hut, she was basically like, well, who are you? You know, what do you want? So I said to her, I've been told to come in here by the guy in there. I've spoken to the guy whose obviously name I won't say, but I've spoken to the guy at the box office. He's also told me to come here. And the response to that alone was, well, I know who he is. We're all on the same team. And it's like, okay, but I've been told to come and speak to you. So I'm speaking to you. And she was like, what do you want? I was like, well, I have an email. And she's like, where's your welcome pack? Well, I didn't get one, so then you're not having a pass. Well, I'm trying to explain to you that I didn't get a welcome pack because the communication between the guy that invited me to the festival was far from okay. Well, can you prove what you've got? Yeah, not a problem. There's the email on my phone. Luckily, I could get signal in that area. There's the email on my phone, and it basically says, you've been invited to download. Please, can you fill in the following? Goes into the sent box, shows it all filled out, showed her where it said video pass if preferable. Of course, I make videos. All the other details that was required. And then the other email back, eventually, that said, everything checks out. You're coming to download 2023. Book your coach, blah, blah, blah. And the WhatsApp messages to go with it. So I thought, well, that's confirmation. Like, that's his number. She verified that that was his number. She verified that that was his email. And she said, so what do you want a video pass for? I was like, to video? Is that not what that gets you? And she's like, so what are you videoing? I was like, well, I'm making a vlog. Like, I've got my camera with the mic and stuff. I've been filming as I've came in. Oh, well, that's going to have to be deleted. No, you're not allowed to do that. Why? Because you haven't got the right passes. You can't do that. You need the right passes to do that. I was like, I'm asking for the pass now? Is that okay? No. What do you want a video? So I was like, well, people, myself, bands, you know, the festival. I didn't know what to say. I didn't want to be horrible and be sarcastic. And she was like, no, stages, no stages. No stages. And this is the way she's speaking to me. Raised voice. You know, I'm just there trying to be polite. No stages. You can't point a camera in that direction. No performances. No stages. Nothing. Now, I do happen to know that the bigger up the bill the bands get. Some bands like to personally approve who is taking pictures of them, videoing them. Perfectly fine. What she didn't know was that I've already been in contact with some bands. Like, I get that the channel is not the biggest channel in the world, but they didn't even know who I was at the time. They had no idea. They had no idea of the channel. And there was a little bit that went on with that again. I'll move on to that in a minute. So I was like, well, I know that there's been involvement from labels, and there's also bands that I work with that if I can speak to them, if they come in, it shouldn't be an issue. If people have got the slot, 100% fine. You know, interviews and stuff, it's a busy festival. You've got all your magazines, you've got all your top press and all the rest of it. And me, even with 36k, is not big in the grand scheme of things. And I appreciate that. And that's not an issue. It would have been just personally nice for me to get a little bit of a, you know, how you doing, kind of quick little chat in between as they're going from somewhere to somewhere. If it can't happen, it can't happen. But without being even considered for the passes that I have in an email proving that I had, to just be like, no, you're not allowed to do that. If you want to video them, we have to personally accompany you, and we're not doing that. I was like, okay, so can I do anything? I said to her, like, I've come to the festival to do a job. Like, you know, this is to create a piece to give to my subscribers. Like, this isn't just me turning up going, yay, free ticket. It is work. I've put money into gear for this. I've put money into preparation for coming to this festival to make it look good for yourselves. And she was like, no, not at all. Can't do that. I'll give you the photo pass at best. And I'm like, does that get you into the pits? Is it a photo access pass? No. So the pass, it's actually still outside of my jacket. It's a bit sweaty, so it's all crinkled up. I was given a photo pass that was, you're not allowed to take pictures of the stages. Nothing like that. You can't take any photos of any bands. Can't take any photos of any stages. You can only take photos in the arena of people at the festival and of yourself. You cannot video anything, and anything you have done already has to be deleted. And then I had to sign a form after I was given the photo pass, and this is where I was like, I'm just leaving. A form that said that I will not video anything, I will not upload anything to anywhere video-wise, I will not upload it to anywhere other than an official place that if Download wanted it, their staff, and it was like, you can't have this pass unless you sign this form. And I read the form, I did sign it, and just thought, what the fuck's the point? I'm not getting myself into trouble. I'm not going to go outside and record something and risk, I don't know, having camera gear took off me or being asked to leave or whatever. So I just said to them, thank you very much. That's not what I was expecting, but thanks anyway. And I come back out to the press area. Everyone's like, looking at you. Now, I appreciate the channel, like I've said in the past, is not the biggest, but it does have a place. It's not the biggest channel in the world. It really isn't. I know that. That's completely fine. It's growing by the day. So I comes out, looked at the pass, and just thought, there's nothing for me to do here. Like, I went on my own. I went on my own with the purpose of making content. It was work. Not like, you know, your work is in 9 to 5, but I don't treat my content as just like, oh, let's just have a little video there. It was work. I treated it as a piece that I would put together, that I would edit up lovely for you guys to enjoy. And I wasn't allowed to do that. I wasn't allowed to film anyone. I wasn't allowed to do anything video-wise. They took one look at the camera and were like, professional piece of equipment, which, yes, it is. And then I walked out to the guest area, cup some bloody wood set, and what's going on in the crowd? Hundreds of people with mobile phones, just filming, which I'm like, if I am not officially allowed to do that, then what's the difference with them? Like, if I start videoing someone now, I am breaking the festival rules. But yet, the hundreds of people in the crowd can film what they want, upload it where they see fit, and that's completely fine. but someone who knows what they're doing and can produce something that I would like to think downloaded go, damn, that looks good. Yeah, we'll share that. Nothing. No, just wash the hands of it, get out kind of deal. You know, you've got your ticket kind of thing. Now, and before a lot of you jump in the comments and say, why did you not stay and watch the bands? I stayed and watched Bloodywood's set. I stayed and watched Lorna Shore's set. Unbelievable acts. But I was on my own. And I wasn't meant to be getting the coach back until midnight. I was literally cooking alive at this point, even though I'd had sun cream on. The hat that I had on yesterday is still soaked through with sweat. I was just cooking from all over. And I stood there and I watched the bands and I was like, that was amazing. You know, I love Lorna Shore. I love Bloodywood. They were very, very good bands to watch. But I had no one to talk to. You know, there was subscribers coming over and getting pictures, which was really fucking cool. The people that did, I thank you for that. You know, at some point there was like security looking over and like, is that an artist or something? It was quite funny. But I just thought, I've travelled all this way. I've not been allowed to do what I thought I was invited to do. It's not safe. There's nowhere to get any shade. There was people literally just lying on the floor, like, not in a good way. These people weren't lying down to relax. These people were most 100% definitely suffering from heat stroke, probably severe dehydration, and there was just nothing there. No one could get to the water filling stations because there was just that much of a queue. I've since spoken to a good few people, and out of all the people I've spoken to, I've asked them to prove that they were there, so that I know that what they're saying is true, and it's not just someone jumping on the bandwagon. And I've had multiple photos of different wristbands, so I know that they were there. Obviously, I'd saw a couple of people that were already there, and they've said the same thing. So I made the conscious decision to leave the festival. And now I'm gutted with that, because I was so looking forward to seeing Parkway Drive. I was, of course, so looking forward to seeing these guys. You know, I've seen both of them before, but on a festival stage, there's just something that little bit different. And I just thought to myself, I'm on my own. I've been told that I can't do anything that I've been invited to do. I'm just going to leave. I'm just going to go home, head home, which took me another further 3 hours, which cost me a lot more money to obviously do. But the interesting thing was, as I was making my way up and just kind of making the decision and kind of, you know, are you 100% wanting to do this? As I got to the arena exit and left, there was so many people leaving with myself, walking down the hill back towards the campsite. And just some of the things they were saying were things like, I'm not doing this again today. Let us head back to the campsite. Let us pack all our things up and let us get ahead of the traffic. Let us get out while we can. I physically can't do another day of this heat. They were saying things like, I'm physically not queuing up for water for 3 hours. I'm not buying their over expensive drinks again. Let's just basically cut our losses. Let's just head out. And this wasn't just like 10, 15, 20 people. There was hundreds of thousands of people, or just thousands of people walking up towards the arena. There was also hundreds to possibly thousands of people heading back the other direction, which, considering the arena had been open for about 2 hours at this time, was very concerning. And as I got to go towards where like the entrance point is for the security guard, because everything was just all over the place in terms of directions, I asked a member of security, I just said, I've seen signs for buses and taxis and things. How do you actually get out? And instead of him just saying, oh, you want to go there or whatever, he just went, are you leaving as well? I just said, yeah, I'm calling it a day. It's just too much. Didn't go into details. And he went, so a lot of people are leaving already. Yeah, okay. What you want to do is just obviously head down there, take a left, and you'll be out. There'll be buses and taxis and stuff like that. Get home safe, which was really nice. You know, some of them did actually care. So as of this point, I leave the festival grounds. I'm back in the car park. I'm back in the bus drop off. The one of the car parks, there was cars everywhere and stuff like that. And I've seen a lot about this on groups, but to witness it firsthand, disabled customers in both standard wheelchairs and motorized assisted wheelchairs with the little joystick and things, attempting to go up to where, from what the lady in question was saying that I asked, she was saying to the security where it has the like little kind of adapted road thing that they put out, so it's got like a little ramp, and it's basically like slats of plastic or wood. It basically creates them a road or a path for them to ride along on their wheelchairs. And she was saying that this was here yesterday. Where is it gone? Like, I can't get in. And the security was just like, I don't know. And she said, well, can you find out? Because as of this moment in time, I can't access the festival entrance. And he just went, I'll radio someone, and just walked off up the hill. Like, his radio was on his belt. And that woman waited there for 10 to 15 minutes. I was waiting for the bus at this time to head to Derby train station. And that lady in particular just said, I'm not doing this again. And she just literally turned the wheelchair around and wheeled herself off back down the hill, probably to go home. There was 2 ladies at the bus stop who were also leaving early. And they said that it'd be like that all weekend. That the queues were just insane. That there was no organisation whatsoever. Now, obviously, I've read a lot in the groups, and people are saying the same thing. I had a friend who went, who also left early. They got off before, I think it was just a little bit into Slipknot set last night. He has said the same thing. There was no shade. There was just no drinks available. The drinks that were just over the top expensive, which I do take with a pinch of salt, and I expect to pay more at a festival, but they were very, very expensive. There was free drinking water, like I say, which they didn't have to do, but I suppose as a health and safety concern, if they don't, you just couldn't access. It was warm, the queues were far too big. Again, a lot of people in the comments of certain groups and stuff saying that they think the festival was oversold, and a lot of people saying that. Now, I physically can't confirm or deny that. I don't have access, obviously, to tickets sold. It was very, very busy. There was people crammed together, but by the time I left the festival, I couldn't make an honest and informed decision whether or not it was oversold or not. I would like to think that it wasn't, because that is just basically greed over safety, which was on view all the way through the festival walking up. You know, greed over safety for people taking water off people, and sun cream. You know, I didn't actually see a vendor selling sun cream, so whether or not that you could buy it or not, I can't confirm or deny that. But I would think that someone given an order to take sun cream off people in record temperatures with a UV index of you're gonna burn if you don't protect yourself. I mean, behind my ears and the front of my ears here, I didn't actually put sun cream on. They're not sore, but they're very red. I saw some sites. There was people there. They had towels covered in water over their shoulders. They'd already burned. Now, again, that could just be people that decided not to put sun cream on. I'm not trying to attack download from every angle with this kind of stuff, but there were people that probably didn't put sun cream on. It happens every year. But then there were people that probably would have done had they been allowed to. So it's one of them. Overall, I am very, very disappointed. I went with the view to do a job, with the view to produce a piece of content for you guys, because, you know, I was invited because of the channel numbers. That's you guys. And I just think that the festival have said, no, you're not doing that. You're just not doing it. Which directly impacts you guys, directly impacts me, because now I've gone for a day and come back with nothing. Other than negative stories and negative first-hand witnessing events of what was going on at a festival. It was not safe. It was very, very unsafe. You know, I've seen people that said they've had a good time, but there was a lot on the internet. There was a lot of people. There's the access issue with not being able to leave the car parks this morning. There's the access issue with not being able to get into car parks from Thursday onwards. I mean, I struck lucky. Like I say, Big Green Coach were unbelievable. We basically went through a little small village, turned right, and I was like, oh, we're here. Like, we're in. People were like getting off the coach and stuff. So they must have knew a different way to go, or have been told to go a different way. But there's far too many people saying the same thing and there's far too many people that I know that are saying the same things that people are also saying on the internet. And overall, it just seems like it's the first big event, proper event since lockdown, and they fucked it, basically. I mean, I am massively gutted. I really am. I didn't want to make a shouty video. I didn't want to make a all guns blazing video. I just wanted to basically say, this is what happened. This is what my experience was. And when you think about the fact I wasn't allowed to record anything, I could go next year as a general consumer and film all I want. But no one would say nothing. That's fine. I could use a phone, I could use whatever in the crowd, get close enough to get some decent footage. That's totally okay. But to do it officially, no, not allowed to do that. So I don't know, people. That's just my experience. I am massively gutted. I really am. But you guys deserve to know, because you were waiting for a vlog. And I was super excited to make one. I was really, really looking forward to making a solid piece of content for you all and getting, you know, potentially some interviews in and maybe some real good footage and things like that. But it's just not allowed. So there you go. I will leave it there, people. You know, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for the support and obviously allowing me to receive invitations to things like this and stuff. It's like, I am now stuck with the decision. Do I go to download ever again? Do I just go as a paying customer? I honestly don't know. I've seen it already announced in Download 2024, and rightly so. People are commenting already saying, well, if I leave now, will I get in on time? They're just, you know, no one to blame but themselves, I suppose. I think I am going to send an email to the organisers and just say, look, this was what I thought. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the messages that I have and everything that I have here would say otherwise, and I was blocked from doing anything when I got there. So there we go. Thank you very much for watching. Sorry for the long video. We've been speaking for over half an hour, but I just thought you guys deserve to know. That's what happened, and that's the reason there's no vlog. So yeah, we live and we learn. I will carry on pumping out the content, supporting the bands, you know, the reason that Download exists. And yeah, we'll leave it there. So thanks very much for watching, people. And yeah, bye for now.